name is Kayla Christie. My phone number is 201-452-5359. My email is kaylarchristie@gmail.com.
Hello, my name is Kristen Christie. My phone number is 949-939-2039. And my email address is kristenchristie@gmail.com.
Hi, my name is Tamara Hazer, and this is our family and our creatures. My phone number is 949-940-5388. Email tammylovehazer@gmail.com, and we're all from Mesa, Arizona, and we will do the best to answer your questions about ancestry.
Todd Hazer, 949-940-5390, todd.hazer@gmail.com.
Hi, my name is Logan Hazer. My phone number is 949-702-8660, and my email is logandrew95@yahoo.com. That's logandrew95@yahoo.com.
Okay, so about almost 2 years ago now, we decided it would be fun to do the Ancestry.com DNA challenge. Well, I don't know if it's a challenge, but it felt like a challenge. So my husband and I, Todd and I, we sent off our DNA samples, and when we received our results back from Ancestry.com, we kind of have an idea of what our ethnic ancestry looks like. So kind of when we received our results, we were like, what's it going to show? Is it going to be accurate? And we were both surprised to find out that it was pretty accurate with what we believed it would say. And even more so, there were sub-regions. One in particular that I thought was pretty cool. My grandmother on my father's side, they were French, they went to Canada, and then they came down to the US. And there was a specific region called the St. Lawrence River French Settlers region that specifically targeted all of her ancestors, and it showed the path of migration coming to America. And beyond that, it was really cool too because, well, I'll let my husband talk and then we'll get back to the children and then pull it full circle.
Yeah, it was really an experience because there's things that you think that you know, and then there's other things you find out about, where and another cool thing is they keep updating it as more people do it, so the results get better and better on top of it.
And recently, since they've been updating, as the database grows, as more people participate over the last couple of years, we've noticed the results become a little more specific. For instance, my husband had an area called European East, and within that region, he knew that he had Polish ancestry, but it didn't specifically call out to his Polish ancestors because we don't have a lot of subjects or participants from that area. But when we logged in tonight to look, it actually had a Lesser Poland settler region that has been targeted with matching markers that were to my husband, and he knows he has ancestors back into that area. So that was pretty cool. It's fun. As the picture becomes more detailed, we're actually able to locate ancestors that we don't know, and we're able to chase them through the tree. And so far, all of the ancestors that have been located, there are ones that we were able to validate, which brings us to our own personal offspring. All right. Do you guys want to share?
Yeah. You want to start? Okay. So one of the things that was really interesting for me when I took the test was that the largest region that I had was Europe West. And we know that we have French ancestry. The St. Lawrence River French settlers was one of the migrations that was linked to us. And I've always loved French and French culture. I lived in France for a while, so it was really neat to see how ancestors from France had gone down and over into Canada and down into America afterwards. Another interesting thing were the different low competence regions. We know that we have Greek ancestry, and so there was Caucasus appeared as well. And I had Asia South, and
I had Asia Central.
You had an Asia as well, I believe?
Yeah, I had an Asia as well.
I have Asia South.
Yeah, Asia South,
Asia
less than
West
1%.
too, regional. So,
And then by comparing between all the different places in Asia Central, Asia South.
And also the Middle East that I have on mine as well. The one common region for all of those was Pakistan. So since we each had, like, a couple of us had the same Asia and other people had like a different Asia, but they had the common denominator of Pakistan, we figured that we probably had like a Pakistani relative somewhere along the line. So that was
From
really
their
cool.
father. He has it as well. But okay, so this is the coolest part. All right, so we specifically, when we did our Ancestry.com, we made sure not to register, put really delineating information that kind of specified who we were and how we were related or anything like that. Didn't fill out any family trees. We, is this system really gonna work? So what we did was my husband and I submitted our samples, and then a few months later, we got a little curious to find out what the children had going on. And so we had all three of them submit. But the coolest thing that out of all of it to me was that when their results came back, it notified me and it said, hey, a potential new relative came back. This person is probably your child. All three of them came back as our children. And the way Ancestry.com does it is you can look at the person that's potentially your relative. They'll tell you what degree relative, child, parent, aunt, uncle, in a range. They can't say specifically whether it's your grandmother or your aunt per se, but you can look and it will tell you how many markers you have in common. So for my children, they all are in like the 3,000 range, so they can tell that they are my children. And then my mom did the test and she came back as my mom, and my dad, who is the biggest skeptic of all the skeptics, his came back as my dad, and they were all linked as well, not only to all my relatives through my heritage and markers, but also my husband's. So when they look at their connections, they can see both sides all the way down. And that to us was like the coolest thing, because these people, like my dad had no information in there, my mom didn't either, and it immediately knew those were my parents, their grandparents, and that these guys were my kids. So it was pretty cool.
And our grandfather was actually able to connect with a relative that he'd never met before, but like they knew like the same people at different points in time in their life. So that was really cool. And they were able to do that through that family tree.
Yeah, he was able to contact. So it's been really a fun experience for us. And while we weren't sure how good the technology was at this point, we have been more than impressed so far, and we're excited to see where it'll go to beyond this. Logan, did you have anything else to add?
I was actually really surprised because I didn't realize I had such a mixed ancestry. For example, I'm 29% Italy, Greece, 24% Europe, West, 23% Scandinavian, and 13% Irish. And I didn't know I had any Irish, which is pretty cool. When it said Asia South, I was like, Asia! But it's not like Japan or anything like that.
I should add that we lived in Hong Kong for a couple years, and my children have a strong interest in Asia in general. My son studies Japanese, and my other daughter studied Mandarin. This one studied Cantonese. I mean, they're all over the board. They love Asia. So when any sort of Asia popped up on their ancestry, they were like, Dad's our favorite. Sorry, Mom, you're boring, but Dad's our favorite. So, either way, we are the Hazer family. We really have enjoyed our ancestry experience, and we're excited that our relatives have actually joined in and been able to see the results of that.
Sorry, I'm trying